Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while, which is just something that I tend to have to say every time I make a video now. I appreciate if you have been subscribed for a while and you stuck with me. I hope that this video gives you guys something useful. It's a bit of a pivot in that I have been recently diagnosed with ADHD, which on the one hand is a little hard to believe, like, wow, okay. And then on the other hand, it makes like my whole life and everything I've had a hard time with make more sense. So I have really been trying, my whole planner journey, like most of you, I have been trying to find things that work for me. And, we all get very influenced to try new things, and awesome new products are always coming out all the time. But I have been trying to find something that I can use consistently no matter what book or planner I'm in at the time. So the last few months, I have been using this task list system that I really want to share with you guys, because you can use anything. This is from the dollar store, any random piece of paper that you have laying around. You can use a sticky note. You don't have to use anything special. So the three things that you're going to need are any piece of paper, any pen, and most importantly, your key. So I've been calling this a keyed list because you literally are going to key your list. So this is my key. I was adding more and more to it for a while. As I come up with new tasks, I categorize them. And then if there's something new, I add it to my key. So your key is going to be specific to you and what makes sense for you and what you need. This is just the one that I use, so I'm going to use it today to show you how this works. So it's a 3-step process, and it starts with a brain dump. I have been wanting a nicer word for that, but I don't know. I guess we're just going to stick with brain dump. I don't love it, but it is what it is. So I date it Saturday, September 30th. Okay. Now, you are going to just brain dump all of your tasks. So, for example, I need to leave the house by 11:15. I need to pick up my prescription. I need to call my mom. I need to load the dishwasher and start the dishwasher. For me, those are two different tasks. I often will load it, get distracted, and never hit start. Let's see. I need to figure out what's for dinner. No idea at the current moment. And then I want these caffeinated drinks that my husband and I love. Okay, so right now, that's what I've got on my mind. So, for me, I'm going to need an alarm or 2 or 3 to get me out the door by 11:15. So I use an A because that means I need to set an alarm. Pick up prescription, that is medical, so I use an M. Call my mom, I consider that like reaching out, so I use an R. Load dishwasher and start dishwasher, those are cleaning tasks, so I just put a C. Dinner, that involves food, so I doodle a little fork. And these drinks, my husband can get those, so I put a D for delegate. I use that for my husband, for my assistants at work. Just, it's something that needs to be done, but it doesn't necessarily have to be done by me. I don't bring anything special to that task. So I really try to go through and set things for other people to do if possible, to delegate things so that I don't feel so overwhelmed. And that has really helped me a lot. So once you have made your key and you've used your key, every day as a third step, I go through with my multicolored pen, which is optional. You don't need to do this, but I will circle the things in bright pink that absolutely have to get done. I know a lot of people will recommend just picking a top 3 for the day, but that does not work for me. I need to get it all out of my head. I need to categorize all of it, and I need to sometimes usually prioritize it. So this has to happen. I need to leave by 3:50 or 11:15 or I'm going to miss my appointment. I really need to pick up my prescription. The rest really is just whatever. So pink means it really needs to happen. Now, if something involves a certain order, like for instance, I need to leave first, call my mom second, and pick up my prescription on the way back home. That is not the order that I wrote these in, and having to write down my tasks in a certain order to begin with is way too much pressure. I can't do it. So I will change colors. I use blue, and I will put a little 1. Do that first. Do this second, and then do this. So I can like task dump, brain dump, all of these things down and then sort them out based on their category, using my key, based on priority, using colors, and based on order, using numbers. Now, not everybody is going to need that, but I find it very helpful, especially on days where I'm going somewhere. I have to, oh boy, I have to order something, and then I have to pick it up, and then I have to remember to do this, and then I have to leave by a certain time, and oh my gosh. So I really like using the numbers, like especially on weekends when I'm going places and I have a lot of things to do. So something that I do, from time to time, so I need to apply for the new financial aid repayment thing, SAVE. That's financial, so I put a money sign. If there's something that is really high effort, like, oof, this is gonna drain me a little bit, sometimes I will put an arrow to indicate that's a high effort thing. So if I have 3 of those in a day and I did one of them, I can feel really good about myself because that wasn't just your average task to get done. That was something that took a lot of effort, a lot of focus. Maybe I had to talk on the phone to people, be on hold. It can be very draining. So I will sometimes do that as well to let me know, like, that's a big ticket item. It doesn't necessarily have to happen today, so I didn't circle it in pink. But if I get that done, it's a big deal because that was a high effort task. And another thing that is on my key is a heart. So for me, that is something that I want to do. So I want to finish a book that I'm getting pretty close to. That's not a task. It's a hobby. It's something I enjoy doing, but I like to put them on here because I think of them along with the tasks that I have to do. Like it's all buzzing around in my head like a beehive, and things that I want to do, I have to do, I should do, that aren't super important. They all feel equally loud in my head. So I put them all down on paper, I categorize them out, and it helps me so much. So when I'm looking at this, I look over here first. And if I'm not in the mood to clean and my tasks have a C in front of it, I don't even look at them. Like, oof, that comes later when I'm feeling up to it. But, here's something that has to get done, and it's something I can delegate. Perfect. Let's do that right now. So for me, because I'm a little bit extra, as I go through, I put a check at the end and I cross it out when it's done. So if all of these things are getting done, great for me. cool. That's not always the case. But, you know, maybe I read my book. Maybe I'm taking care of myself today. So in the evening, even this, I look at it and I'm like, what have I done? What have I not done? Which again is kind of extra. I will go through with a highlighter and I will highlight the things that I've done. So then the things that are left are like, boom, they look like bare naked compared to everything else. And then if they don't get done, I migrate them. If I know, you know, oof, this isn't going to happen tomorrow, this is going to happen farther in the future, I will put 2 little arrows. If it's something I'm like, never mind, just forget it, I scribble it out like that. And there we go. I have done this in so many different size notebooks. I've done it on sticky notes, random scraps of paper, sheets of blank computer paper, cheap notebooks, expensive notebooks, the back notes pages of my Hobonichi weeks, like anything. Just anything that I have jumped in and out of. This is how I've been getting through my days. I want to also note that if there's something that involves changing my schedule, I will put it like right here. So today I have a hair appointment. That's why I need to leave. So that's just on my radar. It's like poof, right there, top right. Anytime I have a meeting, someplace I need to be at a certain time, I will put it here, even if it's over here. And I just know it's going to draw my eye. Another thing that I love about this is you can, you know, say you need to track your time. Make a little time bar. You know, here's when I'm going to leave, like around 11. I'll be driving about this long and my hair is going to take a while. And then I'm going to head back home. You know, and then you put your times in there, you block it out. You have the freedom to do that. It's just a piece of paper. Like, you use the space however you need to use it. It can be different every single day, but for me, this stays the same. I have found the key that works for me. It won't stay flat because I pulled this up out of the front of the book that I'm using right now. And this has just been an absolute lifesaver. If I find that I have a ton of one kind of thing, so maybe I need to call mom, call dad, call my brother, and call the doctor. Whew. I might go off to the bottom or the side and put like calls. And then mom, dad, my brother, and the doctor. Make that its own little section because there's so many of that one kind. That I will do from time to time if I feel that I need to, especially if they're not all like this right next to each other. Maybe they're kind of sprinkled throughout here. I'll be like, wow, there's a lot of R's on this list. There's a lot of people I need to reach out to, which can be phone calls, emails, texts, whatever. So I will pull the R's off the list and just make a little box and write them in. Okay, these are who I need to get a hold of today. Let's see how much of that I can get done. So that's it. That's it, guys. It has been working so well for me. It's really been helping me get the noise and the chaos out of my head onto paper, sift through it. You can find a lot of really nice, things that are allegedly for people with ADHD. I'm sorry, if you're making something that's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pages long, you're not really targeting people with ADHD. Like, that is so overwhelming. We would never even end up using it. We would get so hyper-focused and going through it all and getting it all printed out and all put together and then totally burn out. We're not going to utilize all of that. It's so much. So you can find resources that are like one page, like a one-page daily that has different things on it that are targeted for people with ADHD. And some of them look great, but they usually involve having to prioritize your tasks, which is hard to do when you have ADHD. And I find it very hard to do just right out of my head. Like, oh, here's priority 1, here's priority 2, which is a little bit less important than priority 1. Like, that's just not how I think. I think everything all at once. So I write it down all at once, and then I sift through it using my key and using my color coding and putting things in order that way. But there are some nice resources you can find that aren't, tons of pages, that do involve, prioritizing, grouping by task kind of down here. And they're really nice. And, maybe someday I will try those. But if I do, this is going to happen first, because this is how I sort out my thoughts and my tasks. And I figure out what's what and prioritize it all and sift through it. So for me, this has been life-saving. Like I said, I've used so many different notebooks, so many different systems, but this part has stayed the same. This is my daily. It's not cute. It doesn't need to be cute. There's no stickers here. I don't want stickers here. I get so overwhelmed. Like, I can't. I can't do stickers. I can't do like rulers. It's just a pen. And, maybe this guy. And then later in the evening, I've got this on my couch. I don't even bring it with me. I don't need to. I don't need this until later in the evening. And I know that's what works for me. So I hope you guys have been able to take something valuable away from this. If you end up trying this, making your own key and trying this system, please comment and let me know. Or find me on Instagram at AkiObujo. Shoot me a message. I'm not always super fast to respond. But I will see it and I will get back to you eventually. I am a person, I work full time. I get very overwhelmed just by my own thoughts in my head, not to mention everything going on around me. And I will mean to respond to a message and then I just never do. So until weeks later, and I'm like, oh my God, where is this person? What did they ever say back? And I realize, oh, I never responded. So it's not personal. I do want to hear from you. I do want to know if you use it. And if you do, I hope it helps you. I really, really do. And if you have any suggestions to do with planning for people with ADHD, or just people who have some ADHD symptoms that aren't diagnosed, but they're having a hard time in classic ways, share below so that people can see it. That would be really awesome. And again, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.